This magnificent coastal fortress behind me was the product of a dramatic religious upheaval some 450 years ago. Find out why and where it is in just a few moments. Today we're helping a couple of hip Londoners who are seeking a complete change to their urban life. Will my romantic country home sweep them off their feet?
I do feel like I'm in a Jane Austen novel.
And as the house hunt gets underway, things begin to hot up.
I can feel my wife's heart beating next to mine.
He's feeling the love, Hannah.
Today I'm in Cornwall, and this artillery fortress at the mouth of the River Fowl is known as Pendennis Castle. Now, it was built to defend the port here by King Henry VIII in the mid-16th century, following the threat of a European invasion after Henry decided to abandon his Catholic faith and divorce his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. Today, even on a blustery day like this, its circular design offers a unique 360 panorama of this county's coastal and peaceful country scenery. Almost in a world of its own, Cornwall is situated in the most southwesterly part of Britain, surrounded by the sea except for the inland border it shares with neighbour Devon. Cornwall is a unique county, and with its own language, culture and industrial heritage, so much so the Cornish are set to gain the same minority status as other Celtic communities, like the Scots, Welsh and Irish. Cornwall is well known for its glorious coastline, but the beautiful inland waters shouldn't be overlooked. The pretty Helford River winds its way through rolling hills to reach the south coast. And this coast is full of charming villages and towns, such as St Mawes on the Roseland Peninsula. Here and throughout the county, there's an abundance of simple stone cottages, many traditionally white lime-washed, which characterise the Cornish architecture. With sandy beaches, open countryside and pretty villages, Cornwall is a popular holiday destination and, for the lucky ones, a wonderful place to call home. Property prices in Cornwall are a fraction short of the national average and come in at £265,000 for a detached home. However, when compared to neighbouring Devon, where the prices are some £30,000 more, it would be fair to say that a Cornish home provides good value for money to anyone wanting a slice of West Country coast or countryside. So let's find out what's inspired today's buyers who want to join, well, the 500,000 lucky people that already call this county home. Our house hunters today are married couple Hannah, a lawyer, and Simon, a chiropractor, who currently live in one of London's most vibrant areas.
This is, I suppose, the East End of London. We've lived here for, how long? 4 or 5 years?
Since 2009. It's got an edge to it, it's youthful.
It's a nice area to live.
But life in one of the world's busiest capitals does have its downsides.
You spend so much time commuting and sitting in an office, and it's very sedentary. I'm quite frustrated by that.
If I spend 2 hours every day on the tube, so that's a day a week on the tube, and I don't want to do that anymore.
And the time is right for Hannah and Simon to escape the city and move 300 miles west to Cornwall.
I think we've been brewing the move to the countryside for a long time. It's always been something that we've dreamt about. Simon's had a particular calling to the West Country in Cornwall because his family is based there.
I grew up around St Austell by the beach. But yeah, there's something about the ocean or the sea that draws you back.
I'm originally Finnish, so I don't have any particular connection to the West Country. I'm just up for the adventure.
This adventure centres on Simon's chiropractic work. He has bold and ambitious plans for a new wellness practice in Cornwall.
It'll have a welcome area, somewhere where people would want to be before they come to get an adjustment, a chiropractic adjustment. But there'll also be a gym area where they can work out. I'd just love to get involved in the community and help sports teams, help everybody in the community to make that change, to improve themselves and take responsibility for their own healthcare.
And moving to more rural surrounds will also mean Hannah can indulge in one of her passions.
So I've walked everywhere in the world. I've walked the Himalayas, I've done the Atlas Mountains, I've been all over the place. But actually, I enjoy just a country walk with Simon's mum and her dogs as much as I do, the great ranges of the world.
With the lease of Simon's London chiropractic premises ending and their house under offer, the dreams and plans are now set to become a reality.
I think change is generally good. It's for growth, and I'm quite good at making decisions and not regretting.
And what's the worst that can happen?
Our search will be focused on mid-Cornwall, around the city of Truro, where Simon and Hannah can still be rural yet close to potential clients. And to find out more of the detail of their planned move, I've travelled to meet them.
Simon and Hannah, welcome to beautiful Cornwall.
Thank you.
It's a lovely spot here,
Yeah.
and very different from London, where you live at the moment. But why Cornwall? Why did you decide that you want to move here?
Fresh air, nice water, less people, good clotted cream.
Good reasons. So what is the situation with your current property?
Well, it's pretty much sold. We have to vacate within 2 months.
Homeless in 2 months?
That's right.
But it's not just about the house, though, is it, this move? It's about a change of lifestyle?
It's about having the ability to run a business and a home in the same place.
Ideally, what are you hoping to achieve?
The business needs to become part of the local community. It wants to be a hub for everything associated with well-being.
Are we talking food?
Yeah, we'd like somebody to sell organic produce and
Locally sourced.
A cafe?
yeah, a cafe, perhaps.
Any other sideline businesses, Hannah?
I'd be quite interested in having a little bit of a sideline in bed and breakfast or holiday let, potentially with scope to expand then into more of a retreat.
How exciting! Well, you've certainly picked the right county for that.
Yeah, we hope so.
So what are we
right.
looking for?
At least 3 bedrooms, hopefully more. That's just to future-proof our life.
Future-proof, I like that. We're looking to the future. And regarding location, do you want to be near schools, villages?
We want to be close enough to population. We don't want to be completely out in the sticks. So this sort of triangle around Falmouth, Truro, Redruth, that sort of area would be fantastic.
Let's talk budgets.
Okay.
Now, you look worried then, Simon. That was a really good face. Come on, tell me why.
Well, a budget, as far as I'm concerned, is up to about £1 million, but we could stretch a bit further than that, couldn't we?
I think the maximum budget is 1.3 million, but that includes any conversion works that needs to be done to the property.
You've set us a challenge, have you? Well, at least you've given us a lot of money to play with. Let's hope we can spend it well, because we've got 3 properties lined up to show you.
Great.
Our first property is waiting. Come on.
Fantastic.
So there may be an extremely healthy £1.3 million budget, but there's also an extensive shopping list. Our buyers are after a house with a minimum of 3 bedrooms to accommodate guests, as well as future family expansion. Then there's the business side. For Simon's Wellness Centre, they're ideally after several buildings to convert into premises. The grounds must be appealing and location is key. They'd also like to be near a community they can forge links with. And we have 3 excellent options, all of which offer something really special, but I won't be giving away the price tag until our buyers have a guess at it first. And finally, we have our mystery house, which today is a proposition of mind-blowing scale. For our first property, we're heading to central Cornwall to the village of Summercourt. 9 miles from Truro and St Austell and just 6 miles from the busy surf town of Newquay, this village is well connected yet retains a small community feel. There's a school here as well as a couple of pubs and a village shop. Half a mile from the village down a country lane, we find our first property.
So we thought we'd start off with a bang.
Bang.
I love the wisteria.
It's very impressive.
So the property is old. Now, we didn't discuss period properties. How do you feel about it?
Period is good. I'm quite charmed by period features.
And this is very charming.
It's really established in its setting.
We're about 9 miles outside of Truro,
Okay.
15 from the Eden project. So although we're in a rural setting, in actual fact, from a business point of view, we're not too remote.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll start.
Let's
Yes,
do that.
let's do that.
This house is a handsome period property which dates back to the 15th century with Georgian and Victorian additions. Today, it's an enormous home with 4 bedrooms and 5 reception rooms.
So, as we step inside, you've got your hallway, and just off the hallway, you've got 2 good-sized reception rooms with open fires. But I wanted to bring you into this room because I think this is the heart of the home.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got a really, really cosy feel. I love the wood burner.
Slate floor's nice as well.
It's lovely. And also the windowsill seat. It's very charming.
Through there, you've got a kitchen, but there's an additional kitchen through there which I'm going to take you to. So there's a lot to this property. All right, well, let's go through into the second kitchen. So this is the kitchen that they use on a day-to-day basis.
I love the light in here. It's really nice.
It's a nice kitchen, this one.
I love the character. I do feel like I'm in a Jane Austen novel. This might just be a little bit too low-ceilinged and the rooms are maybe a little bit too compact for my liking.
OK, well, let's continue through. So down a few steps. So this would be your 5th reception room with this property. The reason I'm emphasising that is business opportunities.
I'm not sure this would accommodate the business.
The good news is I haven't shown you everything.
Good.
So there's a few more things up my sleeve to show you. I'm going to head upstairs next for the bedrooms.
They may have some doubts about this property, but they haven't seen everything. And I think the dimensions are really not a problem. Upstairs, there's a double ensuite, 2 further guest doubles served by a family bathroom, and then there's the main suite.
So as you come into here, you've got a master.
I think for me it needs a lot of work, Nikki.
Right. Well, you said you didn't mind a project.
No.
Oh, no.
It's just whether or not we want to spend the project money on the house or the business. And how much it would cost to get it up to
Functional.
my vision. Or
But walking around, if it's not to your taste, from what I'm seeing, I would say it's cosmetic.
You're right, it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong fundamentally with the house.
Well, let's head downstairs. Still more to show you. And the grounds as well to discuss.
Excellent.
I hope Hannah will see beyond the decor of this house, as it provides ample room for an expanding family in the future. And it's not just the house in this package. The grounds contain some great options for Simon's Wellness Centre plans.
So here we have 2 outbuildings ripe for conversion for business use. I'm going to take us inside the cottage.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a little bit of a surprise, the cottage.
Oh, my, I didn't expect this at all.
2 double bedrooms
Right.
with en-suites and rather spacious living/stroke dining area.
Wow, yeah.
Now, this has caught you by surprise, hasn't it?
It really has. Yeah, I didn't expect there was more to the property at all.
But from a business perspective too, for what I'm looking for, it's a great space.
Yeah, I didn't see the potential from the outset, but it's growing on me, definitely.
All right, well, let's head back outside.
I can see this is definitely a grower for Hannah and Simon, as what's on offer begins to reveal itself. And I think the grounds are going to blow them away.
You've got huge meadows. I mean, just look over there, guys. That's your own orchard.
You're joking.
No, straight down this path, either side, you've got fern trees with a folly. Well, I think we're going to go in here. Follow me. So all of this comes with the property. You've got the meadows, you've got a huge lake.
Yeah, that's amazing.
10 acres.
Wow.
I'm talking serious escaping to the country here.
Yeah.
The grounds are spectacular.
This
I'm
lake
lost
is
for
amazing.
words.
Does this excite you?
Yeah, it does a lot more now that we've seen the cottage and the grounds. I can't even get my head around all of this land.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, how interesting, because we've got to put a price on it now.
I think we're looking at close to $1 million. I think 990 is my guess.
OK.
I'm going to go a little bit above that because of this incredible land. I'll say 1.2.
You're the closest. In fact, Simon, you are very close indeed.
Okay.
£995,000.
Wow, okay.
price makes me feel a little bit more comfortable.
Does it?
I think on
Hannah,
paper.
are you going to be looking at it with fresh eyes now?
I think I might very well be, yes.
Good, I've got a smile. Excellent. Well, why don't you take another look? And then, well, I'll try and find you, but it might take me a while, mightn't it? See you later.
For a whopping £305,000 under their maximum budget, this enormous Grade 2 listed period home offers 4 good bedrooms. There are 2 barns ready to convert into a business space and an already converted cottage which could provide further practice rooms or the holiday accommodation Hannah was interested in. But what could clinch the deal is the incredible 10 acres of land with meadows, an orchard, a lake and a folly which offers up the stunning setting they have said is so important.
The folly, the lake, the arboretum, the orchard, it's just astounding.
The inside space of the cottage and the outbuildings are fantastic because they could quite easily be converted into the business. It has enormous potential if we want to expand the business further.
The property itself needs a little bit of work, but I think I'd be quite up for the project. I just have to get my head round whether or not I want to live in that sort of period property.
How are we doing? Have you managed to walk all 10 acres?
Yeah,
Sure have.
it's incredibly impressive.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
Is the picture coming together?
It's coming together, Nikki.
Good.
Yeah, more so than I could have anticipated when we first walked in the front door.
Oh, I'm really pleased. And this is only our first house.
Yeah.
OK, let's go.
The Cornish Peninsula boasts an impressive coastline, which is home to some of the UK's richest marine wildlife, and there are new species arriving all the time. One group keeping an eye on the changing face of the shoreline is the Cornwall Wildlife Trust. As Hannah and Simon are keen to involve themselves in community eco-projects, we're sending them to Prisk Cove near Falmouth to find out about an important coastal initiative. They're meeting the Trust's marine officer, Matt Slater.
So what's so unique about the project that you're working on?
Well, it's called the Shore Search Project, and we're basically getting local people trained up so that they start to look out for important species and record them properly.
What things could we find today?
Well, there's a number of species that shouldn't be in Cornwall that have showed up in the last 50 years. And we've got a big harbour around the corner, Falmouth Harbour, and this is a hotspot really for new species being brought into the country accidentally. Things like seaweeds, sea squirts, some shrimps and things like that are showing up as well. We've got non-native oysters.
So are there any problems or concerns with these new species on the Cornish coast?
Our native oyster has suffered. When the Pacific oyster first arrived, it brought a disease that affected our native oysters, so their population's decreased. So mussel farmers are reporting that they seem to be much more of them now growing on their mussel farms and on the ropes that they culture the mussels on, so that's actually making their businesses less profitable and difficult to run, so monitoring them.
With no natural predators to keep numbers in check, non-native species can seriously affect the domestic ecosystem, becoming invasive and overwhelming the native flora and fauna. The project aims to survey and map around 220 miles of coastline over a 2-year period. And Simon and Hannah are going to help document what's on the beach today.
This rock here looks like a nice habitat. This is a velvet swimming crab. Well, look at his bright red eyes and fierce claws. But it's called a velvet crab. If you feel on its shell, you see why.
Yep.
They've got thousands of tiny hairs growing on their back that make it feel sort of furry. And here's his swimming back legs. So you just write down velvet swimming crab under common name.
And the velvet swimming crab is a native species to our shores. Also along the UK coastline, around 600 types of seaweed can be found, and in this bay alone, you're likely to come across 60 to 70 varieties.
This is a type of seaweed that's edible, and it's called dulse.
Okay.
And it's traditionally eaten in lots of other countries, but not so much in England. It's actually very good. I mean, I quite like snacking on this when I'm out rock pooling.
Seriously?
Yeah. And it's quite sort of crispy and crunchy.
It's surprisingly crunchy.
We better write down dulse on our list.
If you would like to try rock pooling, it's advisable to start in an organised group. Always take care on the slippery terrain and make sure you don't get caught by the tide, which in Cornwall can close in fast.
OK, look, I've found a little crab here. This is a Montague's crab, and it's a climate change indicator species. You can actually see this crab, under her tail, has got a mass of eggs. When those eggs are ready to hatch, she'll shake her tail and off they'll go with the ocean currents.
As none of the wildlife is to be taken away from its habitat, the Trust often set up shore labs on the beach to get a better look at the seaweeds and creatures they find.
Now these guys are found living underneath boulders, and they are absolutely beautiful little Cornish suckerfish. And the great thing about these is underneath they've got a modified fin that acts like a sucker, and if I just turn it upside down, you'll see it's just stuck on under my hand. So did you enjoy it?
Very much so. We've had a
good.
great afternoon.
Hopefully we'll see you getting involved in some of our events.
Yeah,
when you come
Indeed,
down.
yeah.
We'd love to, yeah.
Great.
Check it out.
For our second property, we're going close to Truro, one of Simon and Hannah's preferred locations. The city of Truro was originally built on the wealth of the tin and copper industries and is now the southernmost city of mainland Great Britain. Its cathedral is Gothic Revival in style and was completed in 1920. Truro is also the administrative and commercial centre of Cornwall, filled with shops, cafes and businesses related to Simon's. Less than a 10-minute drive outside the city, in a beautiful rural location, is our second property.
So we started our search here in Cornwall with a 15th century home. We're now bringing you completely up to date.
Wow.
Built in 2010.
Really?
Yes.
That recently?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, good.
I love it.
That was exactly what I wanted to hear.
I wasn't expecting to love a new build, but it's got the wow factor.
Build, it's impressive, yeah. Lovely aspect and fantastic looking building.
So should we go in?
Let's do it.
I'm hoping the fact that this modern house built in a Georgian period style could be the bridge between Hannah and Simon's conflicting tastes in property.
So you've got a huge hallway,
Wow.
which leads us into your sitting room.
This is something else. The size of our house in London.
Spacious,
Yep.
Very.
airy. You know, it is a new build.
Not too boxy, though. Somehow they've mimicked period features, haven't they?
The one thing I want to bring your attention to is the magnificent fireplace. That wood burner actually provides the hot water and the heating.
Does it?
Heating-wise, you're looking at about £800 a year.
You're joking.
And this is a big home. Does this feel more like a you property than the first house?
I think it feels more like a me property, and then we'll have to talk about Simon.
OK. Do you like it so far, Simon?
Yeah, no, I really do.
Which one?
The build, yeah. The build quality is great. So, yeah, so far so good.
OK, well, let's continue through into the kitchen. So you've got a splendid dining room, and then leads through to this rather wonderful kitchen.
I love it. Again, I love the range, I love the island, I love the light.
Yeah, light's important. This is a nice kitchen. I can feel my wife's heart beating next to mine.
He's feeling the love, Hannah. The love for the house.
I hope it's the love for the house.
There's another room that I want to show you on this floor. And Simon, I'm looking at you because I want your seal of approval on this one.
Okay.
Keep that cheeky grin on your face and follow me. So at the moment, this is a beautifully appointed conservatory, family room, playroom.
Wow.
It's a sun lounge, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way it's been constructed, insulation's been put down, and the footprint, you could actually build on here.
That's really helpful, yeah. Definitely for future potential.
It could be a gym. Even.
Right,
Yeah.
gonna keep going.
Okie doke.
Hannah is clearly loving this house, but I'm not sure Simon feels the same. I wonder what he'll make of the upstairs, which would give them 3 guest double bedrooms, all of which are en suite and perfect for visiting family from Finland. There's also a small room which is a single or could become a study. And finally, there's an impressive master suite.
This is really spacious as well, and I love the windows.
It's a beautiful room, beautiful space.
There's one more thing I want to point out. Why don't you poke your head around that corner? I hope you're going to like what you see. You better like what you see. Take a look.
Okay. Oh, wow, look at this, Simon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving the bathroom.
Yeah, I thought you would like this bathroom.
See, I'm hearing lots of loves going on.
Yeah.
It's a love fest. Yeah?
I'm liking the bathroom.
Come on, more to show you.
So the house itself clearly delivers on Hannah's dream, and outside I'm hoping to give Simon some good options for his business needs too.
So you've got a huge expanse of lawn here. It's about 2 acres in total, which wraps itself around the property. They have landscaped it quite prettily. You've got like a water feature going down there, like a terrace, and 2 outbuildings.
Right.
As we came up the driveway, you've got a large one to one side of you.
Yeah.
There's a garage. There's also a chalet. And then behind us, just there, you've got an additional outbuilding divided into 2. One half at the moment is a gym. The other half is used for storage.
Right.
So there's potential.
There's potential, yeah. It's time now to guess the price. How much is this house on the market for?
I think not much change from 1.3. I think 1.1.
I'm going to put in a conservative 1.2.
It's £1,150,000.
Good work.
So, both of you were only 50 grand out.
So overall, I'm the winner so far.
Why don't you take another look around the property? Take your time. Give me a shout when you're ready.
For £150,000 under their top budget, this package gives a Georgian-style modern house which seems to be to Hannah's taste. The 5 bedrooms and extensive living rooms offer them both enough space for family growth in the future. Outside, there are 2 acres of beautiful grounds with an already converted chalet and an as-yet unconverted outbuilding, which would give options for Simon's practice.
As a home, it's great accommodation. I could see a family growing up in. There's very little I would need to do. That would make my wife very happy.
The inside of the house is beautifully appointed. It's very contemporary. There's very little that you can fault about the interior.
The business side of things would take a certain amount of money. It's just whether I can fit those renovations in the budget.
Have you seen enough?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because that is it for today, but my goodness, what different reactions we've had.
Yeah, it's been interesting today.
Yeah.
A whirlwind of thoughts.
Good, good. All right, we're going to hit the road now.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
It's the second day of our house hunt in Cornwall, and our London buyers are looking not just for a rural home, but a place for a new business venture. And with £1.3 million to spend, they have a very large budget with which to do it. Will it be a done deal with the Mystery House?
The business head is saying yes. This is exactly what Simon had in mind.
And I find out how a simple switch in our eating habits could not only help the sea, but also save money.
Yesterday was an interesting day. I honestly thought Hannah and Simon were going to instantly fall in love with our period property. It didn't quite work out that way, although they did come around right near the end. Our second home, the modern build, I think was getting closer to their idea of a perfect home. Certainly Hannah's, but maybe it did lack some of the business space they were after. So it's time for our final property. Of course, it is our Mystery House. And I think with this one, it's got its fair share of business opportunities, which should appeal to the both of them.
For our Mystery House, we're staying close to Truro and going to the hamlet of Shortlands End, 2 miles away. This tiny settlement feels like it's in the middle of nowhere, yet it's connected to Truro by an 8-minute drive and also by the Bainon Way, a cycle and footpath route which was opened as a Millennium project. There's a wildlife reserve, a local school, pub and local shop where Simon and Hannah could get to know the community. Before we reveal the house, I'm taking them to another project in the village.
Teresa, hello. Good to meet you. Can I introduce you to Simon and Hannah?
Hi, Teresa, how are you doing?
Simon.
You have a wonderful coffee shop here, but it's not your average coffee shop. And because these two have got some wonderful business ideas, one of them being running a shop, I thought you'd perhaps give them some tips, inspire them.
Yeah, we like to keep everything local. We grow a lot of our own produce and we like to do things a little bit different. So we've got some different potato varieties, such as the blue potatoes there.
Blue potatoes.
Never seen that.
Yeah.
Very tasty.
And we tie it in with the menu, so our menu's always seasonal.
So looking at the size of this property, I mean, it's pretty large. Is this what you had in mind?
On a slightly smaller scale, but very much taking inspiration from what you've done here.
I know what you two are like. You say that, but you like to do everything big in the end, don't you?
Simon certainly dreams big.
They love a challenge. They absolutely. Teresa, thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you and good luck.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, of course, it is now time for our mystery house, but, well, we're not going to need the car because it literally is next door.
Okay. Right.
You're full of surprises, Nikki.
We certainly are, and hopefully the house will continue to surprise.
Oh, you are naughty.
Come on.
The cafe and shop are actually on offer as part of the package for the Mystery House, but it's just one of several business options here, including 60 commercial lily ponds.
And this is the Mystery House.
Right.
So you have your coffee shop selling all the local produce right on your doorstep.
Yep.
We can discuss that in a little bit more detail later on, the options there. I'm sure you've noticed to our right are 60 lily ponds that spread all the way along the valley.
Tell us more.
The reason it's the Mystery House is because there is so much to this property.
Yeah.
What do you think of the house?
Well, I like the veranda and the view is nice.
It's not quite what I had in mind, but I'm interested to see inside.
Let's go.
The Mystery House is more like a mystery package because there is so much on offer here, which I think aligns with the type of business ventures Simon and Hannah have been thinking about. The house at the centre was built 12 years ago and was designed to capitalise on its environment.
So it is an unusual property because the living area is upstairs.
All right, okay.
But it does make the most of the views.
Certainly does.
Access to the balcony and your kitchen.
Right. To make it our living space, we'd have to change a few things, I think, cosmetically. But view-wise, it's impressive.
And you say cosmetically, what do you mean by that?
I don't think Hannah would cope with that kitchen very well.
I'm going to keep trying because there's still
Keep going, Nikki.
more to see. I am. The Mystery House, you'll be pleased to know, hasn't given up yet.
Very
Because you've got to see this. Let's come up here because you've got another huge space.
This is a fun space.
Yeah?
Yeah, I quite like this space. Yeah, you can do a lot with it.
Let's see the bedrooms.
The bedrooms are downstairs in this property. At the back are 2 doubles with en-suites. Towards the front are a further 2 bedrooms which share a bathroom. And then, with an ensuite shower room, there's a large master.
So this is the master bedroom, and you don't have views like that in London.
No, that
Certainly
is...
don't.
That's a nice room.
Yeah. I'm not getting any feeling from you two.
I don't
Come
think
on.
it's our house.
It's not, is it? No. But I have been there before with you,
Yeah,
where you haven't been sure about a property.
Yeah.
she's a slow burner.
It's taking a while for Hannah to warm to this property, but I hope she does, because if they are serious about having a viable business, what I'm about to show them is just that.
So, now here is an awful lot to take in, but this, I think, is the exciting part. Where we're standing, in that outbuilding there, you've got some industrial kitchens supporting a conference centre. The building that you can see, it's an L shape. The left-hand side of it is the conference centre.
Oh, wow.
Used by educational establishments, they've had weddings there. And then next door to it, you've got a 3-bedroom cottage.
Oh, wow.
Beautifully appointed, 1 ensuite, 2 share the family bathroom, and 6 acres.
OK, cool.
So you've got a water garden, and if that wasn't enough, there's a coffee shop with an existing business already going. Does it make the house a little bit more attractive?
It certainly does. From a business perspective, it's great.
Yeah, the business head is saying yes. This is exactly what Simon had in mind.
It is time to guess the price. How much do you think the whole of this estate is on the market for?
I don't really know how to put a price on it. 2.5 million?
OK.
I think we're looking at the top end of our budget at 1.35.
For everything?
For everything.
Everything.
Is that wishful thinking, Simon?
I think so.
Yep.
The total asking price for everything is £1.7 million.
OK.
Yeah.
Now, the top of your budget was 1.3 million. We've spoken to the owner, and you can actually break it down. If you were interested in the house, with the conference centre, the industrial kitchens and the cottages, with this land here, right around us, you'd be looking at £1.3 million. If you wanted the house with the cafe and the lily ponds, you'd be looking at £1.2 million. Now, that's a lot to take in, I know. That's a lot of numbers.
Yes, it is.
But it's a serious business that you're going into, isn't it?
Yep.
So have an explore. Off you go. Catch up with you later.
To buy the whole package with all the business options is over Hannah and Simon's budget, but they can break it down into the house and other elements to fit their £1.3 million limit. On offer is a contemporary 5-bedroom house, a conference centre and holiday cottage, which could work for Simon's planned practice. There's an up-and-running cafe and shop, 60 commercial lily ponds and 6 acres of gorgeous grounds. But are they ready for this more commercial option?
The conference centre building and the cottage is great. It's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. The only thing that lets it down is the living accommodation for us.
The way the house is laid out, the upside-down living bit definitely works in this house. Everything's very functional, it's clean, it's fresh. I can't fault the house, I just don't think it's the house for me.
Now, I know there was an awful lot to this property, but do you feel you've seen everything?
Pretty much, I think,
Yeah?
Yes, I agree.
I hope we haven't confused you too much, because that's it. You've seen all 3 properties. Can't wait to hear what the final verdict's going to be on any of them. Should we go somewhere a little bit warmer, a little bit drier?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Come on.
With some 300 miles of coastline and 49 ports, for centuries fishing has been a vital industry for Cornwall. In recent years, protecting fish stocks has been central to the business, with a major drive for sustainability. Newlyn Harbour is home to one of the largest fishing fleets in the UK, and I'm meeting fishmonger Robert Wing to find out how looking at our eating habits could help the industry further.
Here they are, unloading the catch.
Well, that's about a couple 100 kilos of fish there.
What would they be fishing?
They'll be fishing for flatfish, so Dover soles, lemon soles, Megram soles, monk, squid, John Dory.
So there's quite a few different varieties there.
Well, I suppose we might see 35 different species.
Out of the 35 different species, how many do we normally eat?
Well, I think years ago we only used to use cod and haddock and plaice, but we are getting better now. But there are some species that we still aren't eating, and I think it's really important that we try them.
Perhaps give me 2 that I might not have tried before.
Well, I'll give you a couple. Megram sole
Right.
and hake. There's so many Megram soles around Cornwall, and it's a totally sustainable fish, and that's a really good alternative to plaice or lemon sole. And if you want something, a cod alternative, hake. We have wallops of hake around the place. Oh, there's a box of Megs coming up now. Those are Megram soles there. So what you've got here, just to take a look, it's all packed nice. That's a Megram sole. It's a lovely flat fish. It's quite deep water, and when you fill it off, you get lovely white, flaky fish.
And what's the taste like? Is it similar to any other fish?
It's a member of the sole family, so it'll have a nice, quiet, mild, flat fish flavour. And it's beautifully white and flaky.
What's the difference then on the price?
Well, Megram sole is probably about a quarter of the price of Dover sole.
So why aren't we eating it?
We're very traditional as a nation, and we need to broaden up and try something.
As it's not well known in the UK, the majority of the Megram sole catch actually ends up not here, but on Spanish, French and Swiss dinner plates. And whilst it may not be the best looking fish, it is abundant in Cornish waters. As sustainability is becoming an ever greater consideration, fishermen, fishmongers and chefs are keen to encourage consumers to try out a wider variety of fish species. I'm heading to Watergate Bay to meet head chef Neil Haydock, who regularly has Megram sole on his menu.
So Neil, I've been hearing the merits of different varieties and species of fish. One we've really highlighted is the Megram sole, but I've never tasted it.
We actually have it on the menu right at this moment, and we actually call it the Cornish sole.
I like the idea of calling it Cornish sole. I think I probably remember that a bit more.
Well, absolutely.
How easy is the sole to cook?
Very simple. I mean, this is literally a 4 or 5 minute dish. And what we're going to do, we're going to pop it into some rice flour, a little bit of oil into the pan. We're just going to pop the fish in, so the pan's been preheated. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt, Cornish salt.
As Megram is a light fish, you don't want to overcook it. It needs just 2 minutes on each side.
So we've got our brown butter. Then we're going to add our brown shrimp. So brown shrimp, a real kind of British sort of staple. So our shrimp are in there. We're going to add our cucumber. So So this is going to add texture, but also a real nice freshness.
I wouldn't think of putting cucumber in with fish.
The dish is finished with a good squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of fresh dill, and then it's time to find out just what I've been missing.
So we pop him on the plate.
This is the part where I love my job. It is quite
Very
delicate.
subtle, delicate, yeah, exactly.
Neil, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to stop, you know.
After a tour and taste of one of Cornwall's culinary delights, it's time to find out if any of the county's properties have hit the mark with our buyers.
Well, we've now shown Simon and Hannah our 3 properties here in Cornwall, and I must admit, I'm a little confused. I'm not sure what they like and what they don't like. Should we go and find out? I thought this was the perfect spot to find out your thoughts on Cornwall and, well, really, have we got close with the dream?
I think you've been really, really close.
Yeah, I think we've got one property that stands out from the other 2.
Oh, tell me, Hannah, Simon, which one is it?
I think it might come as a surprise.
Go on.
if my first reaction's anything to go by.
Well, I think the closest business proposal is probably the 3rd property, number 3. But the overall winner in my mind would be property number 1.
Now, that has surprised me, and I'm looking at you, Hannah, for that.
Absolutely. I think the grounds did it for me, and having had a little bit of a sleep on it, I think my first impressions were a little bit restrictive. They were caught on very cosmetic matters, which I think can be easily remedied. So I think it's definitely a property that's ripe for a second viewing, perhaps with a local builder on board, so that we can start costing up the works that need to be done.
You know, you've always said it's the bigger picture, you know, this wellness centre. It's not just about finding a home, is it? It's about changing the way you live your lives. It's about working together.
It's about working together, but it's also about feeling at home somewhere. And I think it's been hopefully really good for Hannah to feel her feet on Cornish soil and see how she feels about that.
I'm sold, Nikki.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, let's hope you're sold on our first property as well on the second viewing. That will make it all complete for me.
We'll definitely keep you informed.
Thank you. We'd love to know how you both get on. Exciting times ahead, I feel.
Absolutely.
Well, I must say I'm delighted and a little surprised that of all the properties we showed Simon and Hannah, it's our period home that they've opted to take a second look at. But I must give them full credit. They have a clear vision of what their future life here in Cornwall looks like, and I hope they achieve their dream. See you next time.
Hannah and Simon did go back for a second visit, but felt there was too much work to create the setup they required. However, they've now had an offer accepted on another property in the same area, but rather than being the house business package, they've opted for just a 4-bedroom home and will look for business premises separately. If you'd like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.